In today's video, we are going to try a new Qwen 3 coder that was announced just 3 days ago. What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I am Adnan and I am senior front-end developer with 15 plus years in the industry, specializing in JavaScript, React, Angular and Next.js. I break down the latest AI developments so you don't have to spend hours reading research papers. Today, we are diving deep into Qwen 3 coder, the latest coding AI that's making some serious bold claims. So let's go to the screen to see it in action. Okay, Qwen 3 coder comes in multiple sizes, but the flagship model, and this is where it gets crazy, is a 400 billion parameters mixture of experts module. Now, I know you're thinking that sounds expensive to run, but here's the genius part. It only uses 35 billion active parameters at any given time. So think of this like having a massive toolbox where you only grab the exact tools you need for each specific task. This means you get the power of 480 billion model with the efficiency of 35 billion model. So, but here's what it gets really interesting. And this is something that most other coding AIs can't do. Qwen Coder 3, and actually Qwen 3 Coder, natively supports 256 tokens of context. That's like being able to read and understand an entire code base at once. And with the extrapolation method, they can push this up to 1 million tokens. And yes, I know, Gemini CLI with Gemini 2.5 Pro has also 1 million token context window. That's why I said most other coding AIs can't. So let me put this in the perspective. So I'm going to show you something here. Okay. We can see that GPT-4 Turbo has 128K, 128K context length here, and also the Claude Sonnet 4 has 200K here. So Qwen 3 coder is actually sitting at 256K natively, with the ability to go up to 1 billion. It's like difference between reading a short story and reading an entire novel at once. So now I'm going to show you something else here. Here's what really sets this apart from everything else we have seen. So they trained this model on 7.5 trillion tokens. So that's trillion with a T, and 70% of that was pure code. So we can see it here. 70% pure code. And Qwen Coder was built from the ground up to be a coding specialist. But they didn't stop there. They used something called scaling code RL, or actually reinforcement learning, specifically designed for coding tasks. So the principle is brilliant. Coding problems are hard to solve, but easy to verify. You might struggle to write a complex algorithm, but you can quickly test if it works. So they also implemented something called long horizon RL, and this is where the magic happens for real-world software engineering. Instead of just generating code snippets, this model learned to engage in multi-turn interactions, planning, using tools, receiving feedback, and making decisions, just like a human developer would. So let's see the benchmark here, performance. Yeah, the results speak for themselves. On CE-Bench Verified, which is basically the gold standard for testing AI coding abilities on real-world software engineering tasks, Qwen 3 Coder achieved state-of-the-art performance among open source models. So we're talking about performance that's comparable to Claude Sonnet 4 here, as you can see. So this is a really small difference. So like it has like 69.6 here, and Claude Sonnet 4 has 70.4 here. So this is just about writing hello world programs usually, and this is about fixing actual bugs in real code bases, implementing complex features, and handling the messy, interconnected reality of production software. So now the Qwen team didn't just release the model, they built an entire ecosystem around it. They created Qwen code a command line. So this is something like we have in Cloud Code or GitHub Copilot, but specifically optimized for Qwen 3 coder capabilities. And here's what's really cool. they made it expandable with existing tools. You can use Qwen 3 Coder with Cloud Code, with Qwen, or integrate into your existing development workflow through APIs. So to set it up, it's surprisingly simple. You just not need to go here. So you need to have a npm, and you have to install it from here. So you just run npm IG Qwen code /Qwen code, this line of code, and you get the CLI there. And also you need to get an API from -scope, and that's actually Alibaba's cloud, and you can get like here. You navigate to alibabacloud.com and get the API, obtain an API key. But the thing is that actually I had to add a debit card or connect it with the PayPal to be able to do that. And also I'm gonna show you in the video another approach so you can get it from there. And now just getting back, and you just need to export your environment variables for N file, and you're ready to go. So after that, you just type Qwen in your terminal and you can start coding. So, all right. So you're probably wondering, this sounds amazing, but how do I actually start working with this? Let me walk you through the principal steps here. So first, as I shown you, go through the Alibaba's cloud -scope platform. Don't worry, they offer international access also, so you don't need to be in China to use this. You'll get an API key, and that works with OpenAI compatible endpoints, which means that if you are used ChatGPT's API before, the integration will feel familiar. Sorry. So for the simple setup, you can use their Qwen code CLI tool, and just as I said, you can run npm I in your terminal, and you get it there. So I'm gonna show you right now in my code here the things regarding that. So you have to add an environment here, an environment inside of your project. So instead of having it like, if I open a terminal here, let me just bring it. Okay. Okay, you can see if you have a terminal open like this after you installed from npm I Qwen code, so you run Qwen. Okay, and you get it like this, and the Qwen is actually asking you to sign in using OpenAI key, and that's it. But the thing is, if you add it inside of your project like .env here with these things, you always have it. You don't have to verify each time when you open it. So I'm just gonna close this and open an integrated terminal inside of the VS Code here. So the thing with this is that I'm not gonna show save this because here's my real environment variable, and I asked it inside of this. I asked it here to generate Pomodoro clock for me. So that's just a simple test. And also the thing that I promised that I'll show you is actually how to get it without the Alibaba's cloud API there. So you're gonna use, in the past video, I showed you openrouter.ai. So I'm gonna use that as well here. So if I navigate here to openrouter.ai, I'm gonna go to the actually here. Yep, keys and API keys, and you can create your own API key here. Let me move this a bit. Hit API key here and add whatever you want here, and you can also limit it. So the thing with this is I'm gonna show you right now what I actually generated with Qwen code, and I spent for that prompt like 0.23 USDs. So I just limited this one to $1 just for testing purposes. So it's I spent 0.23 USD to get this. I'm gonna just move it. Okay, you see the Pomodoro timer here, and this is what it generated for me. So this is really looking nice. And well, I also asked it to add some green sock animations to it, so it did it. But the problem with this one is actually that these buttons are not doing anything. So in this video, because I already created this, we're gonna ask it and use that Qwen 3 code to fix this actually. So we're going back to VS Code here, and in our terminal here, I'm gonna say, okay, this JavaScript application is so that recently looks awesome. But the problem is that we are not able to click on any of these buttons. They don't actually work. Could you fix it, please? Okay. I'll just type this, so I'm not gonna give special prompts for specific things, just we are testing it. So you know that it was like here we had 0.23 USDs for this, and now I'm gonna test it again, and we're gonna see how much spent actually during this process. So going back to the VS Code, now hit enter, and we can see that it's preparing response. So we're gonna wait a bit for it to create this. So in the past, when it was generating this this here, I had to wait a bit, and it provided me with the prompts. So just to confirm the things that it is doing, like installing the GreenSock platform, creating files, etc. So it's fine with I'm fine with that. I didn't select like do everything but what you want, but the thing is that it asked me everything every single time when it tried to install control of that. Okay, now we're just about to see what's going on. So it says, let me fix the issue. First, I will update the script.js file to properly handle the button functionality. So this is the issue actually here. We had that button here, but it didn't click anywhere. So clicking somehow disabled there. So this seems a bit slow, as I was using like Gemini, GPT, and the Claude Sonnet 4 inside of the Windsurf code editor that I actually prefer. And I was able to get the responses faster than this. So, but let's say that it is consuming the application, but it's not like huge application for that. But we're gonna see what is going down here. Now, after it finished, actually, I had to stop the timer because it took so much time to complete this task, and I'm quite not sure if this is the case or this was with something with my setup. But please give it a try with your own setup to be sure, and make sure to comment out your results and your experience with this one. So in my case, it was really slow to do the things, and what it did is actually it found out that actually we are having issues with the package that we imported here regarding the GreenSock application. And after that, we used here CDN actually instead of the one from the package there. So it was kind of a solution here. And to be sure that it's working, now we are going back to the screen. So I'll just move it. Okay, we can see that we have this Pomodoro timer, and we can start it here, and it is going like this, and it has these nice animations. We can pause it, we can reset, it works. We can do the like a short break, we can do the long break, and what is interesting here, it changes the colors of the site regarding these breaks and the way we are using it right now. And also I like this actually. Also, after we reload it, we get it like this. Okay, that's something that we made with this one here with Qwen. And also, let's see how much we spent actually for this So overall, for me to generate this application, actually this Pomodoro timer, I spent 0.43 USD for it. So is it worth it? You decide it's worth it, but I think that for 23 cents to have this kind of this like Pomodoro timer is relatively okay price. Before you go, if you're interested in exploring more AI models beyond just coding assistants, you're going to love my latest video about OpenRouter.ai. I show you how to access over 400 different language models through a single API, including models for coding, creative writing, analysis, and specialized tasks you probably didn't know exist. Click here to watch that video next, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.